Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode with Gizmo86, and it's been quite a while, but right now I'm currently streaming off of an iPhone. And I'm trying to set everything up right here, so I just took a second to check it out and make sure it's actually live, and here we are. I'm playing on, now I'm getting audio feedback, I'm going to have to stop this for a second. Okay, so I'm streaming off of an iPhone right now while playing Minecraft on an iPhone, and it's handling everything actually somewhat okay. It's actually not too bad. I expected a whole lot of lag, but as you can see here, and I set the recording to 30 FPS with 720p, and it's actually only a few seconds behind live right now, currently what I'm seeing. I've played with a few other ways of doing this, but here's my world anyways, and let's try to get on with it. So this is a world that I've had on my old iPhone. I transferred it to my PC. I transferred it back to an iPhone, probably back to a PC again, and now this is a new phone that I haven't had for too long. I think it's an iPhone 15 Pro Max, something like that, one of the higher ones, so that's probably why it's handling it pretty well. I looked at the phones, and Apple, it's funny because if I was running Java Edition, I would need lots of processors, but the Apple cards, they'll just heat up a lot, and your phone will say, like, phone's overheated, you cannot operate. If you somehow manage to be a big enough nerd to, like, try to pretty much melt the chip or something and just heat it up with so many processes running. But Minecraft Bedrock Edition it honestly doesn't get near enough credit for being optimized. Minecraft Java Edition runs off of like one processor, so you need all the RAM in the world to be able to do anything. And Minecraft Bedrock Edition, honestly, on my laptop, which I hadn't had settings set up too well or too optimized, I could have like 64 chunks for render distance and just fly around like nothing. And it would load everything in. So anyways, I should probably do a little tour of the world. Obviously, I've already been to the end. I have elytras and shulker boxes and all. It's been in survival the whole time, but I'm not entirely sure that I'll be able to get achievements and all that on this, because of the way Minecraft's new update says that you cannot earn achievements off of template worlds and stuff like that, so I'll be trying that out later. So anyways, I'll start wandering around. I just have like a cluster of items right here that I use my home base, and my storage system is pretty primitive right here. I have a few of the newer blocks, the copper stuff there, all. And as of right now, probably the thing I need the most would be a mending villager, but and it's been a while since I've even seen the world. I just started playing on it a little while ago, and I'll explain that kind of later. But I have 3 villagers in here, enough to start a villager breeder. But I set the world to peaceful because I was just kind of standing around trying to get everything set up. And polar bears still spawn. Yes, it is in one of the kind of hated snow biomes, but this is kind of a funny base. It's a normal world, but I just built up into the sky, as you can see there with my coordinates. And this is the only automatic farm I have, except for I had an automatic fisher farm down there that could work on touchscreen with all that. And as you can see, a bit of progress has been made, just kind of like slow, grindy work, and I wanted that one pumpkin farm there just so I could have something to kind of AFK for a little while if I'm doing something else. I believe I created this world right as the Caves and Cliffs update came out. I found a big hole right there and just thought I could take this whole chunk down, but then without beacons or TNT or anything like that, it's kind of proved to be hard. And yep, I just kind of mined on it to grind a little, dug the grass out and dirt pretty quickly, and that's what I've used to make all of this right here. And I've put some glowstone down because underneath it was like extremely dark. And then I just kind of started on farms but didn't get too far. And I've kind of had a lot of different thoughts about the base, what I'd like to do. So now that I've shown off a little bit of it, I'm going to make sure I'm ready. I think I am ready to go on a mining trip, which is probably what I'll do on the stream. Even though I don't have the best picks or anything here, not even one efficiency 5, I do have some shulker boxes and stuff. I wanted to get redstone out of a mining trip, and you can see I have like random stuff like railroad there. And there is a zombie spawner under that right there. I go out to that, but I'm just going to quickly try to see if I can go through here. And yeah, I just dug a huge chunk out there. Kind of slowly been grinding on it, playing a little here and there, trying to get something built, and playing around with some of the new blocks as they came out. I know I'm probably behind on an update or two on Minecraft now, how everything's been going crazy. And I believe Bedrock Edition just got the copper golem. Like when I placed the chest up there, I don't believe the copper golem was completely out. I do have a zombie spawner down there that I could use for an XP farm or something. And that's what I did with it when I transferred it to PC, but I lost it. I lost like the whole world and everything somehow. And it didn't even work out that well. I mean, the XP farm. Here's the old fishing farm. I don't even know what to say about it. There's a fish, there's some water. Somehow you cast your rod right here and it would go down, and somehow the item would just be collected when you go here and fish. I'll have to try it out later to make sure it still works, or see if it still works. Let's see. Oh, and there we do have items. I missed this earlier. Well, as you can see, I've used it for a little while AFKing, and the name tags are probably the most valuable thing here. The shells probably aren't bad. So yeah, and I do have a hole right here where I could fall down to go mining, but I do not trust that because it goes down like 100 some blocks, and I don't really want to lose all my items right here in a live stream, even though it is still in peaceful. I should change the difficulty back, but I don't want to come back and have like all my villagers just changed, and I don't think I would hit anything mining to really make too much of a difference. I'm just trying to show the world off and kind of look around the world for myself too. So yeah, this is still part of that giant hole. So if I ever go to take out that huge chunk there that I have under my base, it should be a lot easier than it normally would. And I'll go in here. I have a zombie spawner that I used as a farm, and this is probably actually not the place to mine for redstone. I should probably go back up here until there's the big opening right here with all the dripstone. Here we go. And let's see, I'm not even 100% familiar with the new ores and all. I know gold, if you mine it with fortune, you can get more. I don't believe iron's the same way, but I'm going to try to find out here. Let's see, I don't need you. And I think I ran out of iron. But I think gold is that way, where you can mine it with fortune, which is interesting. And if you're hearing like a whole bunch of clicks right now, which I'm sure you are, that's from an Xbox controller. It's huge. Oh, we do get more iron. That's pretty cool. It's just kind of pretty nostalgic to me, if I could speak English right here, to play with a controller and have the crosshair right there. I think that's really cool and underrated, even though it isn't the most efficient way of playing. Oh, I did put old textures on because I just really wanted to see them after playing forever in the new textures. Let's see, I might grab one dripstone. There we go, we got it. And I believe brightness from recording might even be brighter than the brightness that I have. I have almost no use for copper, but I will just go ahead and mine some here. And there's our redstone. Yeah. So my whole setup here is kind of primitive, or whatever you would call it. I haven't like really industrialized or anything. I don't have many big farms. That would have been far down. That's why you wear your elytra. So pretty much just I've been mining for stuff, mining for resources, chopping down trees for wood, and I'm trying to start a mega project, if I could speak here. Yeah, first stream I've done in a while. Trying to start a mega project for the base, and I think that will help me like start figuring out which kind of farms I really need and which I can kind of live without for now at least. And I didn't really need too many resources. I just didn't want to be way too short and thought I could kind of do a boring thing here and try to make a clip out of it. I don't think I've ever been through here, but this cave is absolutely massive. And I should probably be playing on hard difficulty, but I'm just getting back into it and don't really want that right now. Although a villager breeder or an iron golem farm won't really work while it's on peaceful. It would work best on hard or something like that. And let's see if I can find my way out. I'll try to go back to the base and explain what's going on, what my plans are for it. My original plan was to have this as like one of 4 corners for a castle and just build a huge wall in between it. Although my original, that's not my ladder. Huh. Not even sure what that is. My original plan was just no plan at all, just straight up building, trying to figure something out. For some reason I went with the sky base. I don't even remember right now what it was, why I would take all the resources way up there. But I think it's going to work out. I have some deep slate walls around here, or deep slate brick walls, as you can see here. And I'm planning on building them all the way up, which is 50 some blocks, I believe. No, that's going to be a bit more than 50 some blocks. And then that'll be an interior wall. I do not know what that is right there. I really don't know. I believe that's a sheep we're seeing from the bottom. Okay then. But my plan is to build this up. It'll be an interior wall, and then I can build it out a little more, have another wall if I would like, or I could just build like houses on the side of this going up. I know it's kind of hard to explain right now. Well, I have like 4 blocks tall, but I'm going to build houses here and put farms in them, hopefully. And I think that'll just help out with everything, getting creative while actually making farms at the same time. So one of the first farms I would like to try to find a spot for and then build around is going to be a pumpkin farm. Now, Minecraft Bedrock Edition is funny, where you have to be within like very few chunks for something to actually work, like this pumpkin farm here. And that may be a problem later on. Now, I might have mined enough for about a stack of observers, which is pretty much what we need. And here's my redstone box. So I'm going to try to see if I can figure this out on stream. There, and I may need some dirt, which should be right here. A lot of dirt. And a little more dirt. I'm definitely going to need like an iron hoe or something in order to... I could do stone hoe. That would probably be a better option. I have all the stuff I need to craft that. I don't need this. Let's try not to throw it. And all right. I think we're close here. Yeah. So I'm going to go take a look at this one, just because I built an old Java design here. I'm sure there are way better designs, but I was just kind of going with it. Kind of enjoying playing the game when I was doing this, and try to do it a somewhat simple way. So every time any of these plants would grow, it should push all the pistons, which should push all the pumpkin in, which it's running a lot slower than I would have expected. I mean, I would expect a pumpkin, so maybe connecting all the redstone wasn't the right call here, or maybe they're getting stuck somewhere. Even like that I'm not even sure how that didn't go off, although it might be waiting. And I don't know how. Oh, you don't have a block. You don't have a block. That would explain that. So, and nope, you don't want to push now. So I'll do this, and it should push out, except it doesn't. So I may need the observer on top of where the pumpkin would go. Let's play with this just a little. Okay, let's try not to use our fortune picks way too much here. And nope, that is the wrong way. So basically the two things I think I need the most would be farms and villager trading to get emeralds, along with mending book, which can all kind of come from the same thing. So let's see. That's why I didn't do it like that. See now. And now I'm even more confused than normal. So that's probably going to do the same thing. So I could probably put it on a timer and just run all of these the same way. And I could build more here, but I don't want it to take up all of my area. So I should probably just go ahead and pretty much mine this down and put it somewhere else. But I don't think I will for now. Oh, and I completely forgot about all the pistons. That's not too great. Let's see, pistons need iron, wood, redstone, which I'm probably going to be lacking. And you know what? I think that farm's kind of served its purpose here. It wasn't big enough. It didn't really work. Here we go. I do have a diamond axe. I've got a villager that trades for diamond axes, so I don't have to waste everything on that. And if I get some pumpkin for pumpkin seeds and just take all of this down, I might be able to do something. I love Minecraft Bedrock Edition, but the only thing I kind of dislike about it is how it takes a second to do like any sort of inventory management. So, and then my inventory always ends up kind of cluttered, and storage systems they just seem like they're harder on Bedrock Edition, even though I think if I'd look up a tutorial or something, it would seem to be easier. Minecraft Bedrock Edition, redstone and all, is just a lot different. And you can do things that you can't do on Java, but then there are also a lot of things on Java that you can't do on Bedrock Edition. Where are all my buckets at? I've got a horse there, but no buckets. A cauldron, but no buckets. I know I have to have buckets somewhere. Nope. Nope, I probably just missed them all or something. Okay. I haven't checked my ender chest yet. I have a lot of emeralds that I've just been hoarding that I haven't known about. Blocks of coal from the mining, bone blocks. That'll help a lot with the farm. There's a bucket. And I have a good sword, but I just don't use it. Huh. A decent pick, decent shovel. There's my fishing rod. I could go try out that farm. I'm just going to fill all my inventory up with the useless stuff. And there we go, cobblestone. More fishing stuff. I probably have enough iron for buckets anyways. I certainly do. Okay. I think I have enough to try to get started, so I'm going to go on down and hope. Now, I do need to keep an eye on my elytra's durability, because I don't have mending or really too much to fix it. And I just said I need to keep an eye on. Oh well. Yeah, so let's see. I stand here somewhere. Cast. Nope. Crouch. Cast. There we go. This would be crazy if this farm actually still works. There's no way that this... I don't have light above the fish. It does still work. So pretty much you just hit a button once to cast. And you could set it on some sort of a timer. There's a way on... Specifically on iOS, you could set up a macro that just does this and let it run for like an hour or something. Although you could listen to music, watch YouTube videos while just clicking the left button on your Xbox controller. And I think some of the XP does get burnt up when it hits the lava like that. I'm getting a little bit, but oftentimes it does. This probably isn't the most optimal setup or anything, but it seems to be working. And I know on Java Edition, at least for a few years, you'd have to build a new automatic fishing farm pretty much every update. They just get rid of the old way with tripwire and stuff, and you just have to make a more advanced thing. And I like how it works in vanilla Minecraft. This isn't something you need mods for or anything. It's just fishing made a little easier with a simple build here. I don't mind fishing like in a big body of water somewhere, or like trying to do it the more normal way instead of farming it like this. Although, I mean, it does seem to work. Let's see. having the fish right there definitely helps a lot too. And let's see. Oh, that does do that. There's no offhand on Bedrock Edition where you can. There's no way you could hold a fishing rod in the offhand. You could hold a shield, and that is pretty much it. Maybe a Nautilus shell. And it doesn't look like we got much infinity right here on a bow. That's probably going to be pretty nice if I could fix it, but I don't really want to fix it right now. So let's go on out here, and I should definitely have brought more bricks like this. But for now, I think I'll just go with it. Now, I don't think I would like to build the farm right there because it's going to be in the snow. It'll just get covered up like almost instantly. So let's see. I do actually have to walk pretty far to get out of the snow though. The snow causes more problems than you would think because building up top, you can see, or you have seen, where the snow layers just pack on top of each other and you need torches or a roof or something to stop that. Now it's dark. Let's see. I think around here I have the water right there. Should be a pretty simple build. I'll just build something here and hope that it's close enough to the center of all of this where I can AFK and it will actually grow some pumpkins. So right here, I think I'll start with this. I could probably build it a lot higher up, but I think I'll go right here. Now, my thought was to do a repeater clock, but dropper and hopper, I do generally hate building stuff live or even in videos like that where I don't really know what I'm doing. Let's see if I can make just a little bit of something here. We do have hoppers. We could make a hopper clock. Droppers. We're getting somewhere now. I didn't bring the pistons. I did a dumb there. But anyways, let's see if we could. That's empty. Pumpkin seeds. There we go. Don't need you. Probably won't need you. Let's see. If I go up here, let me just make this flat real quick. Get some room out here. And I know my vision, I probably explained it horribly, but I think it'll work out in the end, where I just build farms kind of up the side of this. And then I could still make it a giant castle and build bridges or walls, whatever you'd call it, to another pillar for the castle. But I think I might make this just one general base right here. And my idea was to go with something kind of steampunk-like. So not to build it like medieval, not to build it, just build it where it doesn't have to make too much sense. And I think it'll take a while, but it will come along. And let me get rid of this snow. I don't think I'll need that. Where are buckets? Why can I not craft? Oh. You can tell it's been a little while since I played. Here we go. Might need that. There we go. Whoop. Inventory space. Whoop. I still can't even pick it up. There we go. Let me see if I can find out how to drop. Nope. There we go. The down button on my D-pad there. That might be what I've set it to for my convenience. But here we go. And do some quick inventory management. Back to here. Let's see. I have my stone, I have that. I'm gonna need redstone torches, probably. This is going to end up being an awful stream, I know, but I'm just trying to get the first one out of here. Maybe I could record like 2 hours of this somewhere along the lines and use that to actually make a video or some clips. I don't think I'll try building too much on stream after this again. Let's go with repeater. Where is the other repeater? Here we go. You need quartz, and that's the one thing I put up because I didn't think I would need. Okay, it's here somewhere. Maybe it's not. There we go. 3 torches down. I've grown to really like the quick crafting methods we have here. Even though it does kind of move around a little, it's not always the best. So now let's see if I can possibly remember how to do this. Dispensers instead of droppers, which, yeah, that may be a problem. This is a dropper, and I need more cobblestone. Luckily, we're right next to a lot of it. If I can get down there and just do a quick little... There we go. I've mined so much with silk touch picks to get the stone to craft into stuff. I thought I was going to use normal stone bricks and all, but cobblestone seems to be more useful sometimes. And stone's an easy thing to trade with villagers. So here we go. Probably 2 droppers instead of dispensers. And then 2 hoppers right here for a clock. I will get this worked out eventually. It may take a while, but it will work. And let's go with dirt. Yeah, that wasn't too entirely smart. And now I'll just go ahead and try something like that, even though I know it's going to screw me over later. So we have to lock. Okay, now I may be somewhat lost here. Yeah, you have pistons pushing the redstone blocks instead of dispensers and droppers usually. So I think I will just leave it as half done right there. And I'll try to go on to a design. Let's get you here. A stone hoe. And we should be. It's taken me a lot longer than I would have thought to start doing all of this, to start getting back into playing. So let's go with this. I believe this is the best design for what we're doing at least. And then kind of building up. We'll have pistons here. And we're going to run redstone around that somehow. Redstone torch tower would be nice, but I'll just leave it at this for now. I should have just stuck with my idea for a mining stream or something, but I'm just honestly excited that I can stream off of an iPhone while playing Minecraft on an iPhone, and I just realized my skin. Oh well. Just kind of... that's pretty incredible to me, because I know I'm going to sound old when I say this, but a few years ago, you pretty much had to like buy and download some sort of software to even mirror your phone to your PC, which that would have been the only way. And if you are struggling to understand what I'm saying, just go try to watch a video from like 7 years ago on Minecraft or something like that, and look at the screen recorder that everyone's using. We do have 2 fireworks. I'm not even sure if that would get us up there. Glowstone. I should have more torches. I'm not sure why I'm so low on torches. I have all that coal up there. This will be the design, and I should be able to do this, even though having sunlight might help out. And start with something up here. I will push them down in here, which will be another hopper, and go into some sort of a storage system. Hoppers, I do have hoppers. Wrong button. There we go. Now if I go around here, I might have something. There we go. I put the crafting table all the way over there. Let's try to craft a double chest. Smithing table. Of course we can't open it there. And that's going to be a block that we need. No, it isn't. Yes, I believe it is. So that chest may just end up being useless. And quality content right here, I know. I could have just stuck with fishing though, fishing on the automatic fisher. That probably would have given me more resources, but having an automatic farm is pretty cool. You could just stand around and do absolutely nothing, and then the resources are just gonna flow in. Okay. And the goal was pretty much just to get kind of a more awkward episode 1 out, to show off all of this land right here that I've claimed, and the kind of little things that I've done here, so that I could start doing something else. And I'm going to try to stick with this world for a while, make a bigger series out of it. So let's see. Pretty soon here I'm going to have to go and get the pistons and all of that, so we can make something here that actually functions. Whoop. There. And when these are the only dirt blocks here, they're the only blocks that the pumpkin will grow on. And let's start with this. Whoop. Whoop. I'll get it someday. And then another big thing that I could use is a gunpowder farm, a creeper farm, and sugarcane farm, so that I could have rockets and just fly everywhere. Although, when I was playing on Java Edition, I honestly thought about making a world where I just don't use an elytra, just to get back to the more nostalgic feel of, I almost fell there, feel of just walking around, having transportation be more of a luxury, kind of more of a struggle. Yeah. So I'm going to go up here, sleep the night away. I'll try to grab all my pistons and everything from the build up here, even though I probably left my good shulker box down there. And then if I get fireworks, I could do more end raiding and try to get more shulker boxes. Although a shulker farm is kind of popular and actually something that can happen now. Let's see. I have dirt filled with this one, so I will just switch it out for another dirt filled one. I think I can get all the items that I need. I hope I can get all the items that I need here. So first off, let's get rid of this water so it doesn't run everywhere and destroy my creatures. There we go. And doing this, you don't need the flowing water in here, because that's water close enough to keep all of the tiles alive. And the piston just keeps going. And Minecraft Bedrock Edition has been funny, where when you have continuously moving farms with like a piston like that or something, it will just stop as soon as you go out of chunk. Like if you'd have a minecart and hopper in a farm that relies off of that, it just generally wouldn't work on Bedrock Edition. Because when you unload chunks, it just stops where it's at, and then there's no way to power it back up. You could run it off of a clock, but then there would always be the chance that you unload the chunks, and there it goes. I should probably come up with a farm that needs observers a lot more, because I'm going to have a whole bunch pretty soon. I didn't lose that one somehow. There we go. And I think I'll make a separate cacti farm. So I'll just try to tear this down so I can have my flat land up here back again. And a few pistons and redstone. I gotta watch that I don't spleef myself right here, because when I mine under this, there's nothing. There we go. And let's try to tear this down. This did work, and it honestly still kind of does. It's just slow, and I don't like the spot that it's in. And I'm gonna let that... Nope. I actually did something smart when I put the water here. I'm surprised with myself sometimes. So let's go ahead and try to take this down. And I haven't ran out of inventory space yet, although I think I will. I have a piston there just to manually power it. That's kind of funny. Okay, and I should probably grab more torches when I go down, just to light the area up. And that's another thing that's kind of funny on Bedrock Edition, is that mob spawning is crazy, and it never happens where you want it to, really. Like up here, passive mobs will spawn if I just run around, but mob spawning happens in like a... Whoa. I'll just let that run all the way down. There it goes. It'll only happen in a certain radius around you. I believe it's like approximately 30 blocks or something. Oh, I did block it off. There are mods that there are texture packs that you can get that will show you the radius around you. And that's pretty helpful when you're making a mob farm or something. So I did run out of inventory space. But yeah, stuff like that, making a gold farm, it's generally slower. And, whoa, probably shouldn't leave that. Mob farms are generally slower, and if you build one like you would on Java Edition, the mob cap will just end up getting filled up really quickly by hostile mobs that spawn outside of everything. I'm not going to need food right now. I probably have enough quartz. Get rid of a few useless things and see if I have just enough room. Okay. There we go. Now let's hope these hoppers don't run out of the world. I'll just grab that one real quick, and I think I'll have enough stuff off of that. 20 pistons and some redstone. I think I can get a good start on that, so I'll just run through here and dive off the edge. I actually, when I transferred the world back to my PC, I built up a big pond right here and kind of decorated it a little, and would fish off of that. So even during that, I didn't realize that my old fish farm was down there, or that it still worked. And there's a pillager outpost out that way that I don't believe the farm's set up on iOS here on this world, but I set up a farm and it just didn't work. So that kind of sucked. There we are. We're definitely going to need some water down here for these. And I could probably make a tunnel all the way up with water. So let's see if I can get in here. And there we go. Piston, piston, piston. And let's see if I can get one in here. One in here. There we go. And I'm going to need water there. And that's the only thing I believe. The cool thing about building a farm like this is all that you need is the bottom layer pretty much, and then the top few layers just are pretty simple to build. And then I like that the way it doesn't take much space, it's just vertical space kind of. I did head down there, but I didn't get plants, did I? Let's see. No, I believe I did. There we go. And I think I'll leave it here for now and try to build a water tower if I can. Here and dump. Nope. Well, it does work. Even though I should do this and that. Huh. Okay, I think I'll just go with it there, although, let's see. Here we go, and there. It's a little funny. But if it works, it works. So now let's see, the best way to connect all of this redstone. This is probably going to take more redstone than it should. And I'm going to try and use bricks and make this look just a little bit nicer. I could do a double torch tower, one torch tower here and one torch tower over here. Ooh, cutting it close here. Did I build it out? No. And to here, to here. Torch tower might not work, but I believe that would be the best way to carry this signal over. And I should have all the resources for it. As soon as I make some sticks. And let's just try this and see what I can make. See what I can make happen. So that's gonna power it. So then I'll need something coming in here or here. I'll just do it here. And this is gonna be a lot of pretty much useless redstone, I believe. That. And I'll have a clock here, but for now I believe I'll put a lever. And of course I misplace it. This probably would have been simpler to do on PC, but I couldn't really figure out how to change the world back, and I didn't really want to. I should have done torch towers up the side of these. That probably would have been a lot simpler, but I could branch off and double off another one off of this. So I'm just gonna try to see what I can do here. Torch there, and why is it on? Oh. I'm gonna have to get a little creative with it here. It's gonna turn you off. And where's my redstone? I hope my clicking sounds aren't like incredibly loud. If I could have done just something right there, it could have been a little simpler. But let's do that and go up one more. And I boxed myself in. I didn't bring a bed down either. Let's see. So you're on. And let's see if I can find. There we go. I need this one to be off. So I go right here. That powers that. Nope. Right here. Block. And that block's going to be powered. And I can already see that that is not going to work. And I kind of want to build a somewhat symmetrical design. So let's see, that block's powered, which means that one won't be. So if I do this, this is very, very basic. I should have definitely looked up a farm or something, but I'm just going to go with it for now. And that should be half the farm. So if I take my bone blocks, which I've placed somewhere around here, here we go. And bone meal. I believe I mine these in the nether. And there we go. That's a pretty simple way to just go around and get a lot of bone blocks for bone meal. And I'll just bone meal the grass there. There we go. Now, what I'm really going to be interested to see is if this farm actually works while I'm up at my base. Can I get in there? Break you. There we go. And this one. An egg. So now, half of the pistons work. Now if I just start on a clock here and then build the second half. So let's get rid of these, even though I'm not going to have enough space for the items. There we go. Some sort of a hopper clock is probably going to be our best bet here. So if I just do this, I could use a sticky piston in a creative test world. That's usually what I do here. But for now, I'm just going to do this. And get my repeater. I only have the ones I don't need. Or the ones I need for down here. A repeater or two. And there we go. So now when that comes out here, there goes the powdered snow. And let's see what I can do here. It's not going to work. And if I put that there, it'll power the hopper, which I believe also will not work. Oop. I think that's why I would use a sticky piston, and I may actually have slime balls. Here we go. So let's just get rid of the extra piston, get rid of this piston too, and make a sticky piston. I always called it a slime piston. Okay. Although this is the wrong way. Now that I did that. And the repeater probably got sucked up by a hopper, and now it's just bouncing around. So let's do a stack. Let's do another stack. Do another stack. Thank you. And now I'm just like genuinely confused. Whenever there's enough signal strength it can go, which would be now. I don't need you. I need probably a longer cycle here. And I could break the cycle here with a simple piston. Remind me to absolutely never again do redstone live. I used to wonder why people never did redstone live. Now I don't have to wonder, although it would have to be a sticky piston, wouldn't it? And a block on it. That really, I kind of did screw myself there. So here we go, and that goes to here, goes to here, goes to there. If I get rid of you, too much. I need you. Another one. I'm just gonna look up a video probably right now, honestly. Okay, so now I was close, just completely off. I'm gonna try to make one that would work on Java Edition and just see what we can do here. So we need 2 pistons connecting. I'm gonna throw pretty much a stack or so in there, and it's gonna file out. Maybe not. I didn't even connect you, did I? So let's go ahead and get 2 pistons. Maybe. Break this. This is probably going to be too close. And get in my way of everything. There we go. Here we go. Let's get my redstone block, pistons. Put you here. And I can run to a block that gives it output somewhere. And just change the torch. And I should probably do more on this side. And 2 pistons. I placed you in the wrong spot. Go. Now let's see if anything. I believe this should work. It would cycle way too fast, but with any amount of dirt or anything, it should work. It cycles out of here when this is empty. The other one will push, and it will cycle back. We finally figured it out. I'm learning, and that should be a somewhat long clock. And here should be my output. So if I just wire this down into here, careful to place a block here, there we go. But the farm will fire too much off of that, so I could put an observer there, I believe, if I didn't get rid of all of them. I think I have enough. You always place those backwards. Always. There we go. Nope, I placed it right the first time. Okay. So now, finally, when this changes, it should give a quick pulse here. And just be a quick pulse, although it is not. Because I need this for my torch tower. So let's see, let's just wait here. It's only mildly boring. It did give a quick pulse, and it's back off. So now if that keeps running, although it may bug out if I would leave the chunk area. But now if I can find a way to connect, whoa, a little lag spike there. Find a way, this way it could be powered. Run all the way through here. And let's see what we have here. We have a repeater, and then we have the torch tower. So having a repeater here shouldn't be too much of a pain. And then going into a torch tower, that block is powered anyways, so I should be able to just place torches if I had any. There we go. And I kind of dislike how there's no real quick craft option. There's no like shift click to be able to, here we go, to be able to craft like a whole stack. You kind of have to keep clicking. And I haven't found any sort of a way to get past that yet. Let's see, there we go. This should be good. And then just place, oh, maybe I skipped a little something here. And the redstone line is probably a little too long in places. Nope, that's not what I need. And let's see. I believe if I build up a block here, that's how I could have done. Nope. I don't believe that will power this one. So let's scrap that. There we go. And let's go here, here. I'm not sure that nope, ran out of blocks too. So for now, I'll just finish it in cobblestone, I guess, and come back to it. I'll try to replace a few when I'm making it nicer. This should work. This should connect the whole entire farm and make everything operational right here. I'm going to try to do next episode a lot better than this. I don't think we could do too much worse. There was all of our pistons. And we're already getting stuff. But of course I covered it up with grass somehow. There we go. And now I'm stuck in the farm and that piston is somehow powered. Let's see if I can, there we go. Having a elytra is really useful for just simple times like that. And nope. Nope. So I need torch power here that is activated by a repeater. Something like this. And then, nope, that isn't going to work because that will not power this block. Alright, so let's see if I can step this up a little and put the repeater facing in here and then just power this off of that. I'm very descriptive, just power this off of that. Maybe someone is hanging with me, having an understanding of what all is going on, but more than likely not. It is beautiful, although it does not work because of that piston. And then that powers everything. Okay, so I'm going to have to kind of scrap this little plan. I had the torch right here, which powered all of that. So if I swap this, put you on that, put this here, just move the torch tower back one, and piston, or power this one. That should work. It should work. Whether or not it does work, I do not know. And chest. Nope, I need another hopper. And I have my... No, I do not have another double chest. Are there any more chests? We have 3 dirt. We have made a dirt farm here. So after a while and way too much over engineering, we have this. Although the piston clock right here, actually, it is pretty efficient. I'm happy with that. Not too happy with the design. I just kind of went everywhere with redstone. I might have to try to compact that. Although I'm probably going to be building a nice house over all of this, eventually at least. So I don't think it will matter way too much, as long as the farm works. Although I haven't seen a pumpkin yet. There we go. We finally got one. And there is always a chance that the pumpkin could just somehow land on the side after it gets pushed for an item. So that's not really ideal. Okay. Although I believe I could just keep stacking this and just go up as high as I possibly can as long as I have the resources. So now, piston clock, let's see. We're still going. We're draining out. I'm just going to help it out a little bit here and hopefully not break it. So I need about half of that. Let's make it work a little faster. And there we go. The pumpkin destroyed. I may be powering a hopper here somewhere. Nope. As you can see there, the collection system is flawless. And there's one pumpkin here that hasn't been bone mealed. There we go. We got a third try. Third tries the charm. There we go. And now if it would work again, so let's just get us a lever here and power it that way. Like this. Flip, and we go. And that piston pushes the pumpkin in. There we go. We have an operational farm. We're starting to industrialize, guys. Well, I think that's long enough of a stream. It's probably been about an hour and 20-ish minutes. Although I spent the first while just hoping that this was actually possible to stream off of this. And I'm streaming through the Streamlabs app. I've experienced a few problems with it where it says you're trying to double stream or something like that. And it just pretty much cancels the whole stream. So I've been careful to try to watch and make sure it actually records, comes on. My audio is probably awful on this. I probably have the game sound turned off and my sound's too quiet or too loud. But I have something now. And here we go. It's absolutely beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll join next time. If not, have a good one. Now let's see how I can end this. I have to change back to the Streamlabs app.